souls began to intertwine. Your heart of gold, so pure, divine. And I lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold, forged to inspire. It's starfire. It's starfire. On this journey we will find our souls begin to intertwine. Your heart of gold, so pure, divine. And I lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold, forged to inspire. It's starfire. It's starfire, 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 starfire. It's starfire, 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 starfire. It's
That was Spencer Marrow, Starfire. It's an NCS release. You can find it in the description below. Greetings, welcome to the stream. I'm Grant Magic of the Virgan Republic. I'm the dictator. This is the Virgan radio service. Excuse me. Today with me I have the Chief Justice of Amullia with me.
How's it going?
How's it going? How are you today, sir? How are you
How are
today?
you today?
You good?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
You can hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, right, okay. I'll begin the question again. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So I like to start off this stream by asking your name and the nation that you come from.
My name is Jordan, and I am the Chief Justice of Amullia.
And what is your role in Amullia, and how does that affect the way it's governed?
So I'm the Chief of Justice in Amullia, and basically I'm the head of the judiciary.
Right. Um, there has been some allegations recently. I'm under the impression that there has been some allegations about your your justice system being a bit unfair. If you could give us a bit of clarity to how punishments rolled out or circulated within Amelia.
The question was about the justice system being unfair, correct?
Yeah.
You had cut out, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's been some allegations that your justice system isn't fair in Amelia. So if you could give us a little bit of clarity to how that's rolled out and circulated in Amelia.
There's always. I mean, it seems that all the time there's accusations and such within our justice system. And basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to settle that by reforming rules and laws and replacing them with better ones. Some less strict, some more strict. Just to kind of keep it going a little bit. And there's been talks on corruption in our leadership and rigs and all that. And basically what we try to do is some of the new staff members, we're trying to do the best within our power to stop that and kind of have more of a positive circulation.
Very good. I want to move on to talk about if you're aware of, if any, of the maybe future goals and aspirations of Amelia as a whole.
Yeah, so basically we have our plan. And basically this is the goals of Amullia, and this is quoted straight from the Amullian Emperor. And he says, and I quote, "This is how we intend to create our country. We plan to buy the undeveloped area of Ohana Island with the Montenegrin coast and ask for recognition in the treaty, and we will get this money through donations, investments, and sponsorships. This all depends on how famous we become and the ratio of people that believe this can happen to don't. Once we get this land, we will give out a large portion of it out for free to residents and people willing to create small businesses here. As we develop the economy and trade relations with Montenegro and Albania through imports and giving their workers jobs, we will slowly gain recognition throughout the world and buy more land. By doing this, we can become a great developed country recognized around the world and a symbol of hope for those who cannot hope, and act as a potential escape for those going through hell on earth, and to create a sanctuary which enforces our mission and make our world better."
Very good. Do you think these goals that Amelia has laid out are possibly one day in the future achievable for Amelia as a nation? Is it in your personal belief that is achievable for Amelia?
Yeah, I do. I do believe that is possible. Rome wasn't built in a day, and Lord knows that this is going to happen, anytime soon. It all takes time, right? And I believe with more planning and more detail in our plan, I believe a lot of this could happen. I believe that one day we could, place a flag on an island we call ours and rename it Amullia. And you know, it's very possible. But like I said, there's a lot of trial and error that has to be, you know, that we have to go through, and um, there's a lot more, there's many more troubles we have to face along the road, in order to really achieve, you know, our goal. And there's definitely a lot of work to be done, for sure.
Absolutely. um, I want to ask the question, because it is fairly obvious that you, the Chief Justice of Amelia, is here, and the Emperor is unfortunately not. When he came to me about getting time on the show, do you know any reason for you being here, and him essentially not being here for this interview right now?
Um, Essentially, what I'm here for is basically I'm following orders, and I believe that he trusts me to fill in for him in his absence. Now I believe he is not here because he has family to attend to. That is what he has stated, and um, yeah, leave that at that.
Yeah. If I can take up on, well, the last interview, um, with the UNAR, the president of the UNAR, and in specific, he stated that Amelia was a threat to the micronational community. What's your answer to that statement?
We have always been, I won't say always been, for the most part, we have been a fairly, I'd like to say, neutral country. When we face conflicts, I at least, I try to work out those conflicts with officials from another nation with peace, because quite frankly, I mean, there's no point in war if nothing gets done, you know, and nothing good will come out of it. You know, endless arguing for that could go on for however long. I mean, it just doesn't solve anything.
Absolutely.
So it's better to negotiate and, you know, get the stuff that we need to get, you know, like out and said and discuss it so we can come to a conclusion. And I I, I do believe that his accusations against Amullia were wrong. Quite frankly, very exaggerated.
Yeah. Another accusation that he put forward in his interview a few days ago was that, in fact, Amelia is planning to find money through donations, and like you stated, that I was planning to find money through donations, but not to buy land off of Montenegro, but instead an island off the coast of Albania, militarize it, put heavy batteries on it, and point them right at Albania. What
That, you know,
what's your response to that?
I even spoke to the emperor about this because when I heard him talking about that on your podcast or your radio show with
Yeah.
him, that I heard it, and it turned my head, because that is something I had never heard. You know, I never heard that we were going to Kubai Islands, you know, off of Montenegro, and then point guns and weapons at Albania. It's just, quite frankly, I think he blew up a lot of information in which he was given, and exaggerated that completely, because that never happened. I don't know where he heard that. If he would like to get back to me and tell me where he heard that, that'd be wonderful. Because that was never an official discussion, nor was it an official plan or recognized for that matter, that I know of. And I'm pretty active, so.
Yeah. The UNAR seems to have a lot against you. Is there any reason that you might think of that he has this diehard attitude towards Amullia?
Um, I think there could be a number of reasons. With the other micronations that we are partnered with, or um, we have a small alliance with. I mean, that could be um, one of their rivals. I mean, they could be enemies of some sort, and then therefore, we swing on the other hand. But we don't really come hand-to-hand combat with them at all. I mean, it just, I'm sure there's many reasons that it could be.
But you're not aware of those answers to that question.
I mean, it could also be, our systems within Amullia. And I think that was discussed yesterday, at some point yesterday. Within a DM between one of those and one of our officials here. And which I could see why there's a lot of unhappiness or uncontentment with our political system right now, which is why we're trying to make the changes that we are, in order to make this more fit for the people of Amullia.
Very good. Also, the UNAR had the president of the UNAR had gone on a harassment streak with the emperor. The emperor had actually taken some screenshots, and these were forwarded to the leader of the USOF, which Amullia is also part of. What's your response to this harassment that he claims is only a joke?
Are you talking about the screenshots that were taken yesterday?
The screenshots that were taken yesterday, and they were forwarded to Victorium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those screenshots outlining
Was it about the raid?
that he was harassing the emperor and that sort of thing. What's your response to him doing that?
I saw from those screenshots actually that we were being threatened with a raid, and that the emperor was saying, well, he was being harassed by this individual for a reason unbeknownst to me, but the emperor had to point out that it is against Discord terms of service to raid a server, right? And I guess that kind of scared him off, but like I kind of thought of that as a very what's the word?
Trivial.
Very violent way, I guess, to really go about something. I mean, it was unexpected. I mean, it was out of nowhere. I mean, he just started harassing him, and once it was reported, I believe the situation had calmed down.
Yeah, definitely. Since these screenshots had actually came forward to the leader of the USOV, Amullia, your emperor has joined the USOV Discord, and the UNAR has had his membership suspended for a week due to violating the USOV's terms of membership as well.
I see. I didn't even hear about that. So.
Well, you do now.
Oh. Yeah. That's good to know. I'm glad he's being punished for his actions. Because what he did wasn't okay.
Yeah. I'm under the knowledge that the UNAR was actually part of Amullia for a whole 45 minutes a couple of
Yeah.
months ago. What is what's your opinion on that 45 minutes? Do you think that what he's seen in that 45 minutes could possibly have resulted in him now harassing the Emperor and him trying to infamize Amelia as a whole?
Um, I think what happened in that 45 minutes was they came in and they looked at how the political system was run. Um, and I think they became very unhappy. That is my theory. Um, but it's like when someone gets elected in a country, to lead the country, somebody gets elected as their leader. Somebody doesn't like them, and in the next roundabout through their city, they end up assassinating them. It's like it could be anything because if you don't agree with them on one topic, so let's say it was even just one topic that they saw within Amulia that they didn't agree with, that could have sparked it. Um, they could have saw discussions that we were having at the time, and maybe didn't agree with that, or simply I don't know if they were verified or not, but if they were under our unverified role, you definitely don't see a lot of the channel at all because you have to be verified to gain access to the rest. Um, but that could also be another possibility. So there's many different things, laws, rules, regulations, um, our ways of doing things, um, or the fact that we have a constitutional monarch, and a chancellor below. Um, it, like, I know people don't agree with that. I mean, there's a number of different things.
Actually, that's a question that I never asked earlier. How does this constitutional monarchy work? How's your government run overall?
So basically, I'm the third highest ranking official within Amullia. And then we have our chancellor, and he is the head of the legislation. And the emperor is the head of the executive, and I'm the head of the judiciary.
So he's
Um,
the emperor's the head honcho, the person most high up.
yes, yes.
And you said
He did found Amullia.
yeah, you said he was elected in.
That the emperor was.
Yeah,
Is that what you're asking?
yeah.
Uh, the emperor has been around since the beginning of Amullia. I came in about 3 months, I believe, 3 months after Amullia was. And he's been the emperor ever since. I mean, he was there since the very beginning. He was the emperor since the very beginning. He and a handful of people built this from the ground up into what we are today.
Absolutely. Like again, we maybe went off on a little bit of a tangent, but again, how is the government actually run? How does it function? Is it like the US where you've got little elected officials all over the country, and then someone really high up gets elected because of all those little elections and all those different little places, or is it a case of that the emperor will remain the emperor until he passes, and it will be passed down to his son or his daughter?
Um, Basically, what the emperor set up is he wanted the people to have more power. So, we have representatives, we have our elected positions, such as that. We have terms for all of these positions, but no term limits, except for the emperor position as well. Now, our representatives, they're supposed to listen to the people, and we're actually going to have an election to keep or remove them. Actually, I believe that's happening right now or has just ended. Um, and our Secretary of State, I mean, he's the uh, fourth highest ranking, and he's in charge of foreign affairs. And then our Chancellor, what he does is he basically he has almost the same role as the President of the United States. He can make executive orders. He can uh, he can propose laws. Um, he can declare states of emergency. Um, very, very similar to the President of the United States. I would more so compare our whole nation and the way it's run to that of the United Kingdom, except with the monarch having a bit more power because uh, Emp does have a say. Um, he does have a say in a few things, but overall we run elections for our elected positions, um, and then we have our staff, which is chosen by the higher ups to kind of supervise everything and regulate, accordingly.
Yeah. Um. So, who actually has more power in Amullia? Is it the Emperor, or is it this person that's elected for this certain period of time?
Um, I know when I entered Amullia, it was we had an emperor, a vice emperor, and then the representative of the people. And then the emperor and the vice emperor had majority power. They always had that higher position. They were always in control. And then once we changed the representative of the people to a chancellor rank, um, I'd say he has more power because, and especially with the position he has, he takes it he takes it like I would want him to. If he doesn't agree with something, he'll fight for something against it. And then we'll have a vote. And I do think now the chancellor has slightly more power than the emperor. But then again, the emperor, with him, owning the server and everything, I mean, that could be taken away within a split second. But the emperor doesn't choose to do that because that's not his ways of thinking. That's not his moral belief even. And then I basically, when the chancellor and the emperor aren't on, I make sure that I'm keeping watch of everything. I make sure everything's going smoothly, and making sure that everybody's following the rules. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's basically it.
Well, now that's been answered, if we could get back to the topic of the UNAR and his allegations against you. If I had to ask about how you feel about all these allegations as a whole, if you could simplify what he said into one word, what word would that be?
To what he said to us?
Yeah, to what his allegations have been towards you so far with the the militarizing an island off Albania and him obviously harassing you not very long ago, and again all these actions summarized into one word. If you could think of one word, any word, what would it be?
Exaggerated.
Exaggerated.
Exaggerated. Fake even. So yeah, I like I said, I don't know where he came up with it.
Yeah.
But it was incorrect. Absolutely incorrect.
I want to talk about an alliance that Amullia had and ended after a couple of weeks. It was called the Amullia Pact. I don't know if you were aware of the Amullia Pact. Were you aware of it? Eddie?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. The Amullia Pact. That was a very brief moment in time.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there any explanation as to why the Emperor decided to end the pact? Because he gave a very vague explanation over Twitter. I can't remember what it was now, but the explanation to him ending the Amullia Pact was extremely vague and uncalled for, and ending the Amullia Pact. Do you have any knowledge regarding as to why it was ended so quickly?
if you don't mind, I'm actually going to hop on Twitter right now,
That's fine.
and I'm going to look at that.
Absolutely.
It was a very, very vague type of thing. When it was out and about. For sure. Um, so I couldn't provide too much information for you, to be, quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't think that was something I was filled in, which is my own fault, but I don't think that was something I was filled in to, the most that I could have been. But obviously, if it was ended on on a fast note, I can tell you that either it was resolved, we reached a compromise of some sort, or we simply didn't like it ourselves, right? So
Okay.
we decided to do away with it, and I can assure that that is one of the explanations that it could be.
Right. What at the time of the Amelia Pact's existence, or at the time of its peak, what was the goal of the Amelia Pact? What was it there to achieve?
So the Amullia Pact, like I said, wasn't too very it wasn't very long ago.
Yeah.
But what it was, it was more to preserve peace and prosperity, between the members. So this is between our own nation. This is between nations that we have connections with. And honestly, I believe that it had gotten some backlash. And quite frankly, it was kind of not working. With the conflicts that we've been in recently, we kind of went on lockdown mode to kind of protect ourselves. But its main goal was to preserve peace and prosperity between us and our allied nations and just the members within.
Excellent. I want to talk about the Amelia's isolationism and why it only decided to come onto Twitter quite recently. Why why was it an isolationist up until it decided to come onto Twitter, and more importantly, who made the executive decision to post it on Twitter and make it a more known place for people?
This was up to the Emperor. We wanted to be isolated because, I mean, we're still a young nation, and many of our members thought that other micronations were too unofficial. But what he did is he thought that he should fight for the chance to open, ourselves up to kind of move away from, isolationism, um, because it doesn't help us grow. And I think that's one of the main goals that we have, is we want to grow, but we also want activity. It's so want we want Amullia to be open to people who believe in um, the goals that we have set in place, and our political ideologies. It was time to really open up, because
It's time to bring Amullia to a new platform other than just Discord.
yeah,
Fair enough.
and that was all on executive order of the Emperor.
Right. Try to think of a question. Bear with me.
You're good.
Yeah. How right now the micronational community? How in your own eyes and your own personal belief? How do you view the micronational community? Is it a good thing, or a bad thing, or do you think the micronational community could be improved? Improved upon?
Alright. Were you say something?
Do you think it could be improved upon, or so on and so forth? Do you think that the micronational community right now is good or bad or totally against you?
There's always room for improvements. But excuse me.
It's alright. I'm gonna have to play some music here. If you could all bear with me, as the Chief Justice has to take a call right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask the live audience right now to type in any questions that they might have for the Chief Justice. Again, I'll be taking questions, and these will be forwarded to the Chief Justice. Again, if you have any questions, please start typing them out. As many questions as possible, please. I'm now going to play some music for you, just until he's back.